Hey folks, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apologize for the low volume on the last video. I get to a specific volume when I'm editing the videos, and it's a little bit lower than what it sounds like, because once I render the video and I upload it to YouTube, it always gets a little bit louder for some reason. I don't know why. So I just kind of set the volume to a normal level that I usually have, not realizing I have my main computer volume turned up because I was listening to another YouTube video that was low volume. So I just kind of got messed up that way. I didn't have my main volume set properly, so it ended up being a little bit lower. I normally preview my videos before I upload them, but I didn't. I was watching another video at the time, or listening to another video at the time, so I didn't have the volume on as I was watching the video. I just wanted to make sure that it worked properly, so I didn't actually listen to it. So that was my fault. Apologize. I'll try not to do that again. I couldn't believe how low it was. So Zach's gone now. He's got his tiny little apartment. Holy smokes, it's pretty small. Helped him move some stuff in. So he's officially moved out now. It didn't help the garage situation any, because we had our yard sale on the weekend, and well, everything just kind of got left in here, so it didn't help the garage any. It's actually worse than it was. But at least inside, his bedroom's not completely empty. He's still working on stuff a little bit, because he can't take everything with him. He just doesn't have the room for it, and the way his apartment's set up, it's like it's got a lot of corners, and it just makes it difficult to really set anything up. But you know, it's not bad. It's a newly furnished building. Like, it's an old building. It's in Teeswater, so nothing there. As far as apartment buildings go, it's really new, but it's newly renovated. It's all modernized. It's very nice as far as that goes. But it's I'm not even sure I'd be happy there by myself. I lived in a 17-foot trailer, and now that was okay, but now I have so much. I didn't do anything at that time, right? I was working, and I had my computer, that was it. But now I couldn't deal with a space that small. So, especially not even counting, the scooters. I have to have a garage for the scooters, not just for storage, but to work on them. I need space to work on them inside the sheltered, right? So I couldn't deal with that. But hopefully he can make it okay. Everything works out for him. But like I say, we had our yard sale. Didn't get very many. It was bad planning. I'll leave it at that. It's just bad planning. We didn't get very many people. I made a whole $5. Yoo-hoo! So over the next little while, that banana box up top there, that's mine. The only thing in here that's mine from the yard sale. And I'm just gonna put stuff out here when I go out. I forgot to do that today. But I'm just going to put stuff out here, put a free sign on it. I'll probably be gone by the time I get back. We'll see. But, long weekend. Today's holiday, civic holiday. And people are going to start coming back from their camping. I saw one today. I sit down, I'm taking my break, and I saw this vehicle pull up with a trailer and continue on, and then they came back again just as I was finishing my break, so I went over. I know exactly what they're doing. They're looking for the trailer dump station that's not there anymore. So I went over to let them know it's not here anymore. They took it out in the spring for whatever reason. So, but such is life, right? I still see, it was pretty popular. Apparently it's on the website, because she said she's going to update the website. That it's not there anymore. But it was a popular place. I mean, in the summertime when people were coming back, you know, there'd be trailers lined up for 2 blocks, you know, waiting to use it. This is free, right? You're gonna pick a free one. But she said that the next one that she was looking at was Exeter. It's like, well, that's quite a drive, right? But it's okay for them because they're heading to London, so, you know, Exeter's on the way. That wasn't a big deal, but, you know, for other people that are coming through, say they're coming from the lake, and they're coming this way, they can't divert to Exeter. That's way out of their way, right? So it kind of sucks that way for them, I guess, but, you know. Like I said, such is life. So, two more things to talk about. I don't have anything in order here. So, fire department got a call the other day, and I was sitting down at the dam. I was going to head over to the other side, and just as I was heading over there, when I was waiting across the road, I don't remember. Did I even take a break? I'm not sure, actually. I might have just crossed over to get to the sidewalk on the other side to cross the bridge. I don't remember. But either way, there was a police car that went by, and I got across the bridge and partway down the road, and something just made me check my scanner. 'Cause every once in a while, I check the volume to make sure that it's up in the right spot or whatever. And for whatever reason, my mind just said, check it. I checked it, and it was way down. As soon as I turned it up, I heard the fire department talking. So it was turned way down. And right after, a police car had come around the corner, coming towards me. And right after I heard that, his lights started flashing and took off. So it came through. I listened to it later. It came through as a single vehicle MVC, or single vehicle rollover high speed or something like that. So I listened to the fire department's responding. So I turned around and was able to get video of the trucks responding, which was pretty cool. Perfect timing. I would have been in a better spot if I'd actually heard the initial page, but so anyway, they got on scene. It turned out to be a transport truck, and it took them a while to extricate the driver, but it sounds like he was okay. Minor injuries, sore neck, sore back, stuff like that. So it sounded like it was okay that way, but yeah, it's kind of scary. But the point I'm trying to make is, how did my scanner get turned down? Because when I'm getting ready to go out, I put it on my belt, I turn it on, I turn it to full volume, and then turn it down a little bit. Because if you remember, it's got that dead spot right at the full volume. And everything's good. But, so if you notice, like I said, I'm starting to put a little bit of weight on, and my fat is hitting that knob, and it's actually turning the knob. So, I turn it like this, which is what I normally do, but when I'm holding my coffee, the antenna's in the way, so I have to pull it back, right? And that's causing an issue. So I just gotta remember once in a while, check that volume. I checked yesterday and it was way down again, so I gotta check it a little more often. So, so the remainder of what I want to talk about is the dam, unless I think about something while I'm talking about it. They're back to work. Everything's going good. I just thought of something before I get to that. The last video I was showing how I sat down there in the rain, and everything's fun, normal. Actually enjoyed getting wet. I wasn't prepared to get wet, but I did, and I actually enjoyed it. The rain was really warm, so it was very nice. But I got home, and shut everything down, turn the strobe light off. I come back here to take my camera out, and my strobe light's still flashing, like maybe 1/8 of the brightness, but it's still going. So I'll turn it on. Yeah, it's nice and bright, but it was flashing about 1/4 of the brightness with it off. So I'm thinking my wires are getting wet somewhere and it's shorted. It's getting a little bit of power from something from the rain, so I want to rewire everything anyways, which is probably not going to happen this year. But, you know, that gives me a reason to. Something, probably the wires down here somewhere where they're all hanging out by the wheel. Water's probably getting in somewhere in there. So I gotta do a little bit of waterproofing apparently. So that was the only issue I had from the rain, just that. No brake wire issue. Got that problem solved. There's always something that has to be done. I still gotta put my new parts on Monster. I haven't done that yet. I don't remember if I included this in the last update. I hope I didn't. I don't want to repeat this again, but I realized I ordered the bolts for my hubs. I completely forgot about them. So I called up the dealer, and I want the bolts, the washers, and the lock washers. Like official Monster parts, right? I don't want to play around with cheap washers that are going to bend, because that's what happened to these ones. They got curved outwards. They're almost like a cone now, so I thought maybe that was part of the problem. So I want the official ones. And apparently the lock washers are not available. I said, that's okay. Lock washers, no big deal. I said, that's okay. I can get those at the hardware store. And that's the last I heard. So I completely forgot. And it hit me. I was sitting down at the soccer field there in my trail, and I was thinking about it. So I called my dealer, and he says, I thought you canceled that order. No, just the lock washers. So he looking through all the emails and everything, and I got an email from him. I was expecting him to call me back, but I got an email from him when I got home. I spotted it, and he can't find my order, so I got to send it in again. So I got to do that tomorrow. I love the Monster. I love the Monster. So I guess that's the end of that. So back to the damn destruction. So they're back to work now, and I went down there Thursday, I believe it was, and they were repositioning their floating deflector shield. When they took the first section down, when it collapsed, it didn't quite go as planned, I guess you could say. As they pulled it forward, and it kind of twisted and fell backwards, and it kind of crushed part of their shield. As the purpose of the shield is to keep stuff from going into the river. So they kind of crushed the one end of it. So they did it a little bit differently this time. The pillars, they chipped out as much as they could, so when it tilts this time, it'll actually, the pillar will actually push it away from the river. So I saw them maneuvering that. They were setting it up on the second section, the second span. So I knew it was like 3 o'clock at that time, so I didn't expect them to be doing much anything after that. So I figured, okay, tomorrow morning, gotta be here bright and early. And I got there. It actually took them a while. They did a little more prep. Like, they started working on it, right away. But they're still doing a little bit of prep. And they had the excavator and pulling stuff out, so it actually had a place to land instead of deflecting towards their deflector shield. And it was perfect. I got the second span coming down. Close. Because where they're working right now, when they're working on this side of the bridge, I can sit really close to where they are. They don't have that area fenced off, so I'm okay that way. I just hope they don't fence that off, because it's a perfect place to sit. And the only other place I can sit, if they do that, is across the river on the downstream side. It's farther away, and the remaining part of the bridge is blocking what they're doing, so visibility won't be very good from there. So if they fence that up, then I'll have to watch from the park, which I'll have to zoom in, which will lower the quality of the video, and until they're ready to do that, the third span, then I can come over to the other side again. So I'm gonna go down tomorrow morning and see what they're working on. I'm not gonna stick around for much. They're just doing cleanup. They're just separating the rebar, and I'm not sure if I talked about that. They are recycling it. They had a big bin that they were putting it in, like a bin like that one over there, but bigger, or for scrap steel, scrap metal and that. They're putting it in that, so they're definitely recycling it. So that's why they're separating. I don't know if they have to or if they choose to, but that's what they're doing. And where the second span came down there, when I was sitting down there today, there's still quite a bit of rebar in that, so they got a little bit of work to do before they start working on the third one. But I'm gonna keep my eyes open. If that's all they're doing in the morning, I'm not gonna stick around. I'll go back in the afternoon, but weather dependent, because the next 3 days there is rain in the forecast. Not a lot, but it just kind of changed my plan for what I'm gonna do. And we'll kind of go from there. So slowly getting there. I think that's all I had to update on as far as the dam goes. That's pretty much all that's really happened. I had a bit of a break with their machine giving them issues, and get back to work, and now they're in like full speed mode, I guess. So the only thing I can think of, little bugs crawling on me. It's driving me nuts. Little flies. I don't know what they are. They're not fruit flies, but they're like the same size. But the only other thing I can think of, I will talk about in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I just got interrupted by Zach. I didn't even know he was here. So apparently one of these black shelves here he put inside anything I have that's ready to go to the new place to put on that. So yay, somewhere to put stuff. I have one box in his closet. Because I asked him, I asked him when his stuff's going to be out of his bedroom, because after he moves out, that'll give me a place to put my stuff out of because I have no room whatsoever in my bedroom to go through anything. So I can put my stuff in his bedroom, anything that's ready to go. So now we have a place downstairs to put it. Oh no, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. What I wanted to do is, one of the trips, I want to put my trailer on the back of the monster and actually drive it to Gory. Problem with that is, because then I only have to go one direction, right? 19 kilometers done. I still don't trust them. I still haven't got around to doing anything. I haven't put my new parts on yet. I have to do that soon. I'm gonna get into the rest of it, but I have to do something soon before I would even trust trying to make even one direction. But the problem I have is the last trip that I make, because I can't leave the monster sitting outside, right? And we still don't have the door wide enough to get the monster into the shed, right? So that has to be ready before I can do that, before I can even take the monster. But the last trip I make, I have to be with the cat. When we moved here, that was the plan. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, because we ended up having to do another trip. So Smokey was left here by himself, for 24 hours. I don't want to do that to him again. Like I say, for 48 hours, I didn't even know where he was. I know he's in the house somewhere because he's afraid to go outside. But I found him. And he was hidden pretty good, but I don't want to do that to him again. And what I plan to do this time is I'm not going to have my bed set up right away. It takes a little bit to put it together. So I'm going to put all my clothes in the closet and just put his carrier in there and just open it up and let him come out. That'll give him a place to hide for a while, right? I'll know where he is, and he'll be in my room. So I do not want to leave him there by himself for the first day. I don't want to do that again. And what I want to do right now, I've got my cat carrier brought up from the basement. I want to put it in my room, get him used to seeing it, so he's not going to freak out when I bring it in. Because he's only had one experience with that, and it wasn't a good one. So as soon as he sees it, he's going to freak. So I want him to get used to seeing it. But I just don't have anywhere in my room to put it right now. That really sucks. So that's in the plan. I think what I'm gonna do once I have some room, I'm gonna move things around a little bit. I make sure he still has a place to hide. He needs a place to hide when somebody comes in my room. So I'm gonna take my bed apart, and I'm just gonna put the mattress on the floor. Excuse me. So he can't hide under it when it's time to leave. Make it easy. Oh, excuse me. Make it easier for myself, right? But he's gonna start freaking as soon as I start taking stuff out of my room and moving things around. He's gonna start freaking. He's gonna know something's up. But I have to be there with him. When we finally move him, I need to be there with him. I can come back, for a couple hours to help move other stuff, but I can't be gone for a whole day. I can't move him there and then come back and spend the night here, right? I can't. I won't do that to him again. So one more thing. While I was talking to Zach, I don't know why, but I thought about it. The new subdivision that I was showing last year with the new roads up there, they haven't done anything to it at all this year. Absolutely nothing has happened. So it's all weeds are growing in there now. So I go up there once in a while and take a break up there. And I just looking at all this open area. There's no topsoil up there or anything, just from what they've done. Man, they won't put topsoil in until they're building the houses and that. But I've been wanting to drive out through all that and just sit over by the highway and watch the traffic go by, right? But the problem is the road is about maybe 3 feet higher than everything else, and the edges of it are pretty steep, and I'm worried if I go down, I'm not going to be able to come back up. So last time I was up there, I found a place where I can go down. It's kind of, the road comes up, and then it's got the circle, cul-de-sac, or whatever you want to call it, and at the far end of it, I can go down, but then I got to go through like a drainage area and up and around to the other side. But I can get back up there, so that's not a big deal, right? So today I went and I experimented. A couple places where I just wasn't sure I wanted to cross because it's still a little bit muddy from the last rain. I don't want to get stuck in that stuff because it's all sandy, silty, so I'll sink into it really well. But I made it through no problem, and I found a place where I don't have to come back up onto that road. I can go right up onto the highway. Now, the problem with that is it's also a sandy, silty area. It's kind of muddy. I don't want to go through that. It still looks damp. And even if the surface is dry, it can still be muddy underneath it, right? So I got into trouble a few times from that. Looking dry, but it's not really dry. So if it's a drainage area where the water collects, it's going to take a lot longer to dry out than everything around it. So even though the surface is dry, it doesn't mean it's dry. But I found another place on the other side of that gully where I can get to the road. Even if it's right after a rain, it's not going to be an issue. I saw that today after I got up onto the shoulder. So, got a new place to sit, I guess. But I don't know. I'm going to miss Wingham so much. I love it here. I've never liked living somewhere as much as I like living here. And I don't want to leave. So it's going to be kind of rough. But maybe next year, once I get the monster all working well and trusting and everything, I considering doing another, every street in and around Gorey, and I'll probably do Roxeter as well. Roxeter's not far away. So I'll probably do something like that. I got really nothing else to do in Gorey, so that'll take me a few days and then figure out what to do from there. There is a conservation area there, but it's like a park. Nothing there. But we'll see. I'll come up with something, I guess. So I thought this was going to be a short update, and it turned out to be a little longer than I expected. So keep the videos coming for you guys. That's all I got for today.